Knowing your family history could save your life. It's the focus of Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. And Sara DCamp joins us today to talk about not only her own personal journey with cancer, but also how you can get involved with her own local nonprofit, Love Your Buns. Sara, welcome back to North Dakota today.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I am great. We have had you on. We've talked about Love Your Buns. I love that you put this together and that you're rallying people around having this conversation. But first, can we start with your story as well? Because it kind of puts a face to why we are talking about colorectal cancer and why it's so important to have this conversation.
Yeah. I think as everyone can see, I'm a young adult. And I think there's still a stigma around thinking that this disease in particular only affects older adults. And I'm here to say that's not the case. And I think what we've really seen in this community particularly, and in North Dakota, is this rise in diagnosis of young patients. And so just a little bit about my story, and I'm sure a lot of you have read my story before, but I think it's still important to put it out there. So hopefully it catches the eye of other young adults who might be experiencing similar symptoms. So I was diagnosed with stage 3 rectal cancer back in 2016. I've been through, just a myriad of treatments, chemo, radiation, surgery, ablations, and it's turned to stage 4, excuse me, about 2 years ago. And so it's kind of just been a battle of keeping those tumors at bay or not growing. So for this past year, I've been in chemotherapy, trying to do just that. And so I think, again, the emphasis is that you're a young adult, you might be experiencing some symptoms, the symptoms being rectal bleeding, bloating, just a change in your stool, nausea or vomiting. You could have weight loss. And so just being really aware of what your body's trying to tell you.
Now, you have obviously a lot going on. It's a battle for your life. You tell us everything that you're going through right now, and it just sounds difficult to listen to, but you're not just sitting back and focusing on yourself. You are still, moving forward, and you have the Love Your Buns local nonprofit that you're the founder of, and you're doing some really great things with it. Can you talk a little bit about Love Your Buns?
Yeah, so we initially founded Love Your Buns in 2018. Again, it was when I knew that this disease was not just affecting the older population, and that there, again, was a stigma around young adults going into their providers or going into their providers and not being heard. So that was really the emphasis of why we wanted to start this nonprofit, why we wanted to educate the public on the signs and symptoms, really empower patients to be their own advocate, and then just improve their survivorship. And kind of what that means is managing the symptoms, finding trials if necessary, and just kind of the whole package of the whole health of the patient.
How can people get involved with Love Your Buns, and what do you have coming up or going on here this month?
Yeah, so I am really excited because this has kind of been on my heart the last 2 years, is to provide kind of a space, and not just for rectal cancer, colon cancer patients, but just cancer patients in general and their caregivers, to have a space, kind of like a support group, but that also provides educational opportunities. So as you see on the slide here, we partnered with a lot of area medical providers to present on our monthly support group meetings or education series. So they're going to provide anything from Ask the Expert with Dr. Bassett, who is a GI doctor here at Sanford. There's caregiver support. There's pelvic floor therapy, kind of that goes along with the radiation damage that happens to patients. And then grief counseling for those caregivers. And that's a big part of this disease too. So I'm really excited for this opportunity for patients, caregivers, family members. It's free to the public. Our first meeting starts tomorrow, and it's at 7. And you can find all of our information about the series on either our webpage, loveyourbuns.org. You can go to our Facebook page, Instagram page, and you can find all the information there about this series.
Sara, you are doing great things and fighting cancer at the same time. Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
Stay with us. Coming up next, we're checking in with our friends at Breadsmith.